In this video, we're going to look at some findings I found involving chevron and clouds and ALLL's use of the same sort of symbol, like in this small triangle. These chevron clouds are very interesting. We've only started seeing them relatively recently. As you can see from these shots, they are massive, hundreds of miles, and they stick around. So this is a plane flying by. What caught my eye is a guy named Mr. B, 3BB, who goes over strange exotic weather, was doing a whole episode on this, and I happen to be looking at APetGoatII in a separate video. And I started seeing the same pattern, this question about where else do these angles show up? And I feel like this white and blue and this white and blue is very close. And then I noticed that this kind of a crossover matches that, if you think of those two anchor points, that's going up and that's going down. Well, that got me interested in thinking what would happen if we took that B2 and reversed it, and then that might be a parallel. So that little loop of this B2 bomber happens after we see the inverted of it, which is these clouds. We already know that Trump is going to be using a B2 bomber with a nuke capable. They've started testing this in July with just a dummy sled. It's entirely possible it's going to happen. And we also see this kind of spear tip, which Trump is known as the tip of the spear in other places. For example, when you mirror the floor and in the ollie raising. So let me go a little bit more into that. This scene I've mirrored, because anytime you see this floor kind of like markings like this where they're not aligned, that generally means that they're using some sort of a mirror trick. So for example, this person is symbolic of the US government, is screaming at this person who is a composite of both downwards. It's the Iran, which we can see here. Iran is one of the secret letters here, the evil Iran, for restarting the nuclear enrichment program with the explicit aim of creating a nuclear bomb, which of course Israel can't afford, being a small country really close together, so they step in with ally of Trump and the US to bomb them. And one way of looking at this is we take the shark, like this is the Times. This is the TV gin who was looking into America about to split, and that face is this chalkboard that we see here. This boundary is the spirit world. This is the physical world. So when this tip is piercing it, that means essentially that the nuke is coming down, missiles are coming across. And we also kind of see that there's a parallel between this crossing that border and this crossing this border into the full moon, which could tie to a potential interesting celestial stuff. So just a couple days ago, we entered into a very unique planetary arrangement. It's only happened 6 times in the past 120 years. This is the 7th, where there are no planets on one side of the sun, they're all on the other. More interesting than not, they also, this alignment lasts for 53 days and ends around 9/11. And this video, the APetGoatII video, is about 9/11 2.0, which could be an indication that this is the time frame for all these events to happen. Now, this split apple could represent this. Many different things could be overlapping here. So this is one of the first ones that come to mind. The second one is that the apple is symbol to an atom, so splitting the atom for the nuclear explosion. The splitting of the New York apple, as this attack would be doing for the tsunami, which is the financial trade center. If you look at the back of these, plus the tails, I did this other thing, they look like the butt of the bull, Wall Street bull, and the London lion, with their tails coming out and forming one, because they're both being slaughtered in the coming beheading of the first world nation by this, false flag sort of attack, hitting Iran, causing the world to strike back against America, and following that, the UK. What else? That split is also found in the empty egghead, and he is looking to see if this brain has been completely removed by Team Dark, the serpent inside of the head. This is also the same looking thing. The political leadership is looking, is America ready for the attack, the beheading of America? The house is symbolic of, I think it's a stack of different things. We notice on this side we have the twins. On this side we have kind of a claw mark. You might see a little bit better here. So this is Gemini twins, which is June. That is July, the crab claws. And this might be the bride and the body going up with the crosshairs in between, which is both Lady Liberty and Big Ben tipping over. What else? Oh, so when he's pointing at the woman, he's actually pointing at her on both sides, and she is the exact same as America. So she represents, in the original shot, she is a teacher in APetGoat, original 9/11 attacks where Bush was also there. She kind of reminds me of what I think New York has become. I have a brother who lives there and works there.